Hi guys and welcome. It is Karen here with you today. And before we begin, I want to tell you about the Michelle Grant Designs Creative Warriors virtual retreat. So our retreat is over 10 days and it is a journey within unearthing your creative soul. This retreat is an incredible value of 10 days with over 10 classes included and so much more. You will be creating your own junk journals from scratch and will be undergoing a heartfelt journey to unearth your creative soul. We will be exploring how to get in touch with your creative side and release some of the pressures from everyday life. Connect with each other and connect with your joy and passion. So you will find the link for it down in the description box below. So let's begin. So I'm starting off in my large Dilutions journal, and I'm actually using some images that have just been released and designed by Tanya Froud from the Creative Warriors. So this is the Rebellion set, and I am using this rockabilly cool lady in my page. So I've actually printed her out onto some tissue paper, which I have glued onto my carrier paper and ran through my laser printer. So now I'm just gluing in some of the pieces. I've got Tanya's quote sheet here that's also on tissue, but I've actually ripped it up into pieces so that I can glue it into my book. Unfortunately, my bottle there of soft gel medium was going a bit hard, so I've had to add in a truckload of water to mix it in so that I could actually use it. So that's what I've done there. So I'm just adding on my other page here, smoothing it out from the inside of the image to the outside so I can get as many creases and bubbles out as I can. So I'm just adding in a little bit more of the quote page going tongue-tied here, into my background. So I'm trying to keep it a little bit straight as well so that you can actually read what it says. And just so that you are aware, there are some swear words involved as well. So I've also got some of Tanya's pattern sheet here, which is the little cherry bomb pattern in the black and the white. So I'm just ripping that up and putting that into the gaps as well, which I think looks really cool. So I'm just almost finished getting my little bits glued in. Almost. Still going. I've actually switched glues now, so I've got the thinner gel medium, which is really good for tissue. It's the Matisse one. It's nice and runny, so it makes gluing down the tissue a lot easier. So yeah, I will have to use up that other soft gel medium though before it's completely wrecked. There's my page. Alrighty, so I've got that nice and dry now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a whitewash of white gesso. So I've just watered down some gesso and I'm just going to paint that over the top, and then I'm going to grab a baby wipe and I'm going to rub back areas of it so you can actually see some of it a bit more clearly. It probably hasn't shown up all that well on camera, but yeah, it looks cool. The next thing I'm going to do is I've got out my homemade sprays here with some Colour Blast mica powder. So I've got a variety of colours here, so I'm not entirely sure which colours that I've used. That yellow one is called Sunshine, I know that, and I think the pink might have been Punch or something like that maybe. There's a bit of purple which is called Royalty, and I'm just drying those mica powder sprays before I add more in so all my colours don't run in together. So that's what I'm doing right there before I add on some more. What am I gonna, there's some fluoro. That's fluoro pink. That's a brand new mica powder from Colour Blast. So yeah, I've mixed some of that into a little spray bottle. So that's really cool. The next thing that I've got out here is my Karen Brush Marker Pro markers, which are just basically a a marker with a brush tip that you can use watercolors with. So that's what I'm doing there. So you can see me using the pen there and coming back in with my paintbrush. I'm not being very particular with where I add my color because I'm spreading it out with the water. So they are water activated, so if you come back later, they're still going to move. So yeah. So I'm just going to add in some bright pink here into her headband. And the other thing that I'm doing here with my watercolors is trying to add some highlights in by just removing some of the color with my paintbrush. You can do that with your paintbrush, just a damp paintbrush, and just wipe it off onto a bit of paper towel. You'll see me get some paper towel there. Well, that was another technique. It was to dab out the excess with the paper towel, but you can actually wipe off your paintbrush onto a paper towel as well. You see me doing that there. There we go. So I can get some of the highlights into, say, the rose here. Instead of it all being one color, I'm just coming back and swiping some of that color off, so I've got some highlighted parts as well. And doing that the same with the other flower, just going around her cheek there, just trying to smooth that out. Going to add in some hair color just with some brown. I actually quite like these brush markers. They're a little bit like Tombows, but a bit different than Tombows, but same kind of principle. You know, you put the color down, you get your water paintbrush, and away you go. They're fun. So yeah, and it did make coloring the image quite quick. So there we go, and now I've got out my little metallic set there, and I'm just adding a little bit of coppery gold into the ribbon that's on the image that threads through the flowers and around there. So that looks pretty cool, pretty happy with that. Okay, so what am I going to do next? Clean up. Oh yes, I've grabbed out some stencils. Now this stencil here is a Maker's Fort, I think that's what it's called. The lady who designed them is on Hedgehog Hollow. So yeah, so I'm using this stencil here, just with some Paper Artsy snowflake paint, and I'm just dabbing it through. I've got some other Paper Artsy paints here to use with this stencil, which is a Natalie May one. It's just putting some of that pattern around the outside, and I've got some pink as well. And I'm going to use a stencil from the Crafters Workshop, which has got this funny little branchy type thing on it. And I'm just going to add a little bit of pink into my background as well. Just a little bit of solid pink here and there. And I think that looks really cool. So once I've got that nice and dry, I've got this old stencil here from Donna Downey. And I'm using some of the Crafters Workshop stencil butter in bubblegum, I think it's called, and I've also spritzed a little bit of glitter over the top while it was wet so it could dry. So now that that's all dry, I'm just going to do some scribbling on some of that Maker Fort stencil just to highlight some of those petals in the flower so it kind of looks a little bit more flowery. I'm not going to do them all. I think I'll only do, yes, I do only do 3 because I think that's enough. And I'm just about finished doing my squiggles, and then the next thing I'm going to do is put a border around my page, and I've just got a Life of Colour paint pen there, just in a pink, and I've also got a black one, just a thinner black one to go over the pink as well, just so it's a bit of a double border, and adding a few little squiggles around the edges as well, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. So I've also printed out Tanya's quote sheets onto some craft paper, and I've picked this one here out that says Girl Power because my daughter was reading them. Yes, swear words and all. I told her not to look too closely, and she picked out the Girl Power one, so that's what I used. So here is my finished page. I had lots of fun creating it, using some different products for a change with some mica powder sprays and some watercolor brush pens. I hope you have enjoyed my video mucking around here with Tanya's Rebellion art image pack, and yeah, that's it. So check out the retreat in the description box below, And until next time, I will see you later, and please like and subscribe. Okay, bye.